I mean, I think Bridget and Mandi did it well, no?
They did it terribly.
Why? They said, yo, this is our last episode, and this is why we're going in different
Well, there was
routes,
first
no?
they did separate podcasts absent of each other on the channel, which was weird. Then they went on their, this is because I'm a nerd, I was on their Discord, and it didn't seem like there was a unified mission statement of why they were ending until it happened. And then throughout their run of doing podcasts, it seemed like Mandi felt as if she was the one doing a lot of the heavy lifting in terms of the back end stuff. So then when they broke up, the narratives were there already, and someone like me saw their deal, Gumball Media, right, that you helped organize. We'll talk about that later. But happened 2 years to the date of when they break up. So it kind of felt like just a lot of tea leaves were there.
Okay, and I can see from your perspective there being, quote, tea leaves there. But also, I think it's cool when podcasters do other things on their own. Like on our Patreon, I did the Dad Bod Pod episode real quick. That was just me and Kat. Like, what's wrong with podcasters if you're a duo on your channel, one person going to do, that doesn't mean things are wrong. Maybe it's just a great way to outsource different interests. Like, Mal could go do a sneaker podcast. I'm not a sneakerhead. Like,
Facts.
I'd be a dumbass on the side. Like, all right, I'm just here for face value. Like, I offer nothing to this conversation, whereas Mal could do that.
You did that. I saw some of your sneaker content. That's exactly what you looked like.
I didn't know Mal was gonna bring out the Marty McFlys.
Yeah,
like,
that was messed up, Mal.
I was trying to like be funny with my my delts. I had a bunch of Joe Freshgood shits that no one had. I was like, I could have came here with some
New
shit.
Balances. It's like Marty McFly.
But see, in that situation, I tried to bring my personality to that rather than try to out sneaker somebody that's a sneakerhead. Like that's why I brought Del Toro slides. Like I was trying to bring my personality to it. Now, I don't think there'd be anything wrong with Bridget and Mandi doing separate things on their channel. Obviously, there was a disagreement. They wanted to go other ways, but I wouldn't say that's always a tea leaf if somebody wants to go do some other shit.
But that's the thing. Like, if you and Mal start doing content separate of each other and then announce the podcast is ending, it's obviously something's up. Something's up. It's the Rory and Mal podcast, and unless there's a forecasted reason as to why you're doing it, and you're like, me and Mal are gonna do content different. We're gonna be doing things on our separate, but it's gonna be under the same umbrella versus just doing it without any announcement. Then it's kind of weird.
Okay, you are right, and I'm gonna do what Reddit hates of trying to play devil's advocate for the sake of conversation.
Podcast.
Why are you owed that?
Well,
why do Bridget and Mandi owe y'all an explanation to what's going on in their personal business outside of the podcast?
Well,
why do they owe y'all that?
Okay, so similar to, I think these podcasts are a connection that's deeper than maybe a Netflix show. Like, y'all interact with us daily. We are more engaged. We buy content. We spend hours theorizing. If it wasn't without us, a lot of y'all would not be able to monetize in some of the same ways.
Facts.
So really, this is not a shot or anything. Who's buying Bridget and Mandi merch unless they're deeply invested? Who's buying B. Simone merch unless they're deeply invested? We really care on a way
Myself
that's crazy.
included.
Yeah.
Anyone that buys podcast merch is deeply invested. No one is just copping some pod merch for the of it.
Yeah.
No, I
that's
agree.
why we feel like we're old stuff, because we
but
engage on
then
a
where is
deeper
the
level.
boundary? Like, if we give you our personal lives on camera and literally reveal our entire souls, embarrassing moments, family shit going on, we come on here to even talk about depression, everything that makes us relatable, where can we draw a boundary line? Because where can I be like, yo, what Mal and I are talking about business-wise in the future of our podcast, honestly, right now is none of y'all business. And this is just me, because I do agree with you.
Yeah.
But
no, I get it.
Being on the other side, I feel like Bridget and Mandi don't owe y'all anything. Outside of the content, outside of great content and what they promised with their Patreon and their 2 episodes a week. And if that content starts to go down, then I think you guys have every right to have an opinion. Yeah. But to know what the future or the behind the scenes disagreements are, and I don't know if y'all are owed that, even being invested fans.
Yeah, I guess it's it's sort of counter to me because I feel like you, not you, but just you're the person talking about podcasts right now, have all done these theories to get more views.
True.
And you probably previous pod, Mandi, Weezy, have showcased this, and it's led to all of you getting bigger platforms than maybe people who hide what they say. And this is like particularly non-guest reliant podcasts. Like you guys sometimes have to reveal, and that's why we feel entitled sometimes. And I think there's a reason that's the case. And you use this as therapy as well. Y'all be sharing your hearts and souls with us.
It's not therapy. I know it appears like it is, and I used to think it was for a while. Because a lot of times, the first time I would talk about something or say something, I would think just getting it out and saying it on a microphone felt good. It's not therapy.
Bad idea.
You're just getting something out. You're not dealing with it. Now you're allowing thousands of people to deal with it for you when they don't have your best interest at heart. So podcasting is not therapy the way I once thought it was. Therapy is therapy.
Yeah.
This is just saying shit where you're going to eventually get someone that does not care about your well-being commenting on it.
I think me and you should go to therapy together.
I don't think we should do that at all.
No,
I'm
you don't want to go to therapy with me?
Totally cool.
I went to therapy with Rory. No, all right.
Oh, now I get the joke. It went over my head. I thought you really just wanted to go to therapy with me.
No, I'm really witty.